Broadcasted live.
Yeah, stop swearing. Stop swearing. We're live. Right, how many people got?
Good point. Do you know, I haven't looked at the...
Tommy's here. Tommy Blake's here.
Let us know if you're here.
Evening, John.
Those of you that aren't here, put your hand up.
Quite a few, because there's only 4 here. But then it is 6:30 on one of the hottest days of the year. So, and this will get a lot of replay value, I reckon.
As long as we don't ramble, yeah.
Yeah. Nat, are you right to do a sound check? Just check we're... Yeah, on YouTube. Ed's turning his water into wine already.
Yeah.
Bullet's watching on Facebook.
I was going to have a can of Coke, but I'm all coked out after visiting you.
Nat, I thought Nat had 2 Cokes today, but she only had 1, so she had a second jab, and then she had a Coke. So here they go. It's 9 watching. Luke Gulatz.
Hello, everyone.
Ryan. This is Ryan. Wahoo Fitness for Life. That's one of Ryan's alter egos. He's watching on Twitch. Yeah, we're live on everything apart from Twitter. Hi, Alison. Can't stay long. Planning to get a drink in the gym. Yeah, we are as well. So, no. So, well, do you want to do the intro, Ed?
Well prepped. What are we talking about tonight? Well, we're talking about the only video we need to talk about that we absolutely demolished, hopefully knocked out the park, whatever phrase you want to put in there. When did it go up? Sunday night?
Yeah, Sunday night premiere. So you took my premiere slot. No, it's very well constructed premiere slot, YouTube premiere, which means you get to watch it live. There's 150 people watched it, I think, live. You were getting worried. Like 4 minutes ago. It was like, there's 9 people in the chat. What are we doing? What are we doing?
157 was the peak I saw, which is definitely an all-time high for a premiere for me.
Yeah.
But also, well, I mean, considering like some of my Zwift races haven't even got to the 150s.
Yeah, you do have a few that go. I think, did you have 400 at one point?
Oh yeah. There's always some, but they're usually the big ones, aren't they?
Yeah. So, how did this whole thing come about then, Ed? My memory was
your memory's not good.
No, I can't even remember why. Why did you come down originally?
Good question.
Yeah.
I originally came down because
we'd always joked that when I did the backpedal, when I did the bike packing video with Bullet, we always joked that you would cycle over and do and you would come over and stay over for bike packing part 3. So I think that put the seed in your idea of you wanting to cycle over or you just didn't have the car that week.
Yeah, I didn't have the car. The idea was that with events coming up in August, I was going to treat it as a final end to a block of training, a 3-week block. I was going to finish it off by doing some big climbing rides, and then we had this kind of idea then, I guess, of I think GCN must not long have come out with that video, and then I was like, well, no brainer, it's super hilly, it's long, it's in your neck of the woods, and well, yeah, I just thought, but it's just good training anyway, and it doesn't matter as long as you're riding a bike, it doesn't really matter. But then the time trial was like a secondary thought, wasn't it? You presented that, and I usually do a time trial on a Thursday, and I don't usually do them fresh either, so why not?
Yeah, that was just like you were down for Thursday, and it was just like another thing. But yeah, I think I just missed everything you said there because my sound cut out. But I can hear you now. You sort of said, how far is that GCN route away for the start from you. So what is it, like an hour? Was it taking an hour and quarter, hour and 10 to get down to Woolacombe from here?
It was a long time,
Yeah, rubbish roads and stuff like that. So, and then the plan was 3 days. You came over obviously for the Crocombe, to look at Crocombe for the Everesting a couple of days before. So we went and did that, and then literally we were sort of filming. I was doing the daily vlogs, so I had loads of content to go back to and pull up in the main video. Yeah, and that gave us stuff to play with as well, didn't it? Obviously, there were some things that went completely wrong. Quite a few things. Me losing the camera twice in one weekend almost, and it's a cool weekend. It was in the week, and then obviously breaking the bike, which was not set up for YouTube drama, was it?
Not at all.
Suspense.
Not at all. But the bike was still flawless after we. It could have ended badly at this moment, but.
Could have ended very badly. So we dropped you off in Woolacombe at, what was it, quarter past 7, I think you started.
Well, it was late, that's what it was. It was supposed to start. It was supposed to start at 7, I think.
But you just had to go get some extra wind. Get winded a few more times.
Yeah, I had problems with gas. Scott was feeding me gluten-free stuff, so it was giving me gas. Yeah, Woolacombe, we departed the Grand Depart at about 7:15, and then it was just up and down, wasn't it? It's been up and down all day. Blood my neck.
Yeah, well, up and down. The heat was the thing. You'll notice on the this isn't playing smoothly for me, which is a bit annoying, but we'll come back to that. That should be all loaded up. You'll see later on the temperature that I put on the overlay, it actually worked out that it was a lot hotter than that was showing as well. I think that topped out at 21, but you were definitely hitting 24, 25 later on in the day.
Yeah. It did. I didn't feel like it. There was a bit of a wind about. I was probably making it feel cooler or something, but I think I don't know what are people's thoughts on those are people that are in the chat now. Like at the time, I was in complete performance mode. Performance mode. Didn't realize what I did there. Aid mode was in performance mode. So I never really. You were in camera mode. So I was never really thinking about anything other than riding as best as I could that day, which was made easier by having the van. But it wasn't much more we could have done.
No, and that's the thing. Obviously, I think that's what we wanted to say to people, isn't it? It's like everyone's saying, "Oh, how did you sort of do it all?" And we got the tech here and stuff to sort of show you. It was, but my sort of main goal was to keep you fed and watered, and then to try and capture the day was secondary. And it was quite it was very stressful to try and sort of get the phone on the windscreen with the Strava, because I had the Strava route which I was following. And then also we had trackers, didn't we, on the phones? But the trackers, obviously, which I think Hank's dad struggled with to get hold of them. There's so many dips and valleys and black spots. You couldn't have a good track. So it's kind of like it would go, Ed was here 8 minutes ago. I'm thinking, right, 8 minutes. He's got to do this climb, this climb. Do I cut across this climb? Do I meet him at the top? And there's sometimes not a perfect lay-by to pull into when you're trying to find Ed, because he's not slowing down. And that was what one of the biggest takeaways, isn't it? It's we didn't do anything on the day wasn't for the video in a way. It was always the effort came first. And if you flew past me, you weren't going slow past me. There's one time where I was I took over you. We went down this horrible little lane, and I'd lost you, so I'd had to catch you up. I got past you, continued on the climb, got to the top of the climb, went to send the drone up, and you were there, and I was just like, oh great, like.
I remember that. I remember seeing you in the distance, and I saw you like flapping around, like trying to get stuff out, I presume. And then I saw you like put something on the ground, and I was like, "Oh, there's the drone." But I was like, by the time he gets this up, like I'm gonna be past him, and yeah, sure enough, I was like, oh, well, yeah, I was well past. But I wasn't gonna stop unless I needed something. I could have taken a bottle on the move, and I know there was one or two comments from people saying like, you know, will you go in on a lapse time or moving time? Well, obviously, like in the race, you do it on moving, a lapse time. But it was also like, are we really going to take it like that serious? Like I said, if I was going to stop for a pee, I wouldn't like rush to like stop for a pee. I'd stop for a pee for a minute and then like off we go or whatever. Like it wasn't like, and to be fair, being like not like big-headed at all, but I thought I would have breezed through it, given like what I know about like what World Tour riders would climb with on the Gruppetto power-wise on climbs. I was like well above it. In terms of performance, my performance on the day was like way beyond what a Gruppetto would do. But obviously a Gruppetto would form like this was like the 10th or 14th stage or whatever, so they're going to be more tired. But it was just those descents. They were like comical. They were just like so slow. And like I was coming down, I'm like, yeah, okay, I'm ready to turn on to the next climb now. Like I've been going downhill for 5 minutes, but no, still going down this lane that leads to some farm.
And that's it. And even early on, it was kind of stuff like where we were doing the like early on sort of. You had this first time, and it's stuff like this with a video, isn't it? Like we can sort of break down the video a bit. Let's do that a little bit and watch it.
I'm gonna right old laugh at my expense.
Did you adjust anything?
No, it's going to be an issue for tomorrow, or
Come
on, catching up. Go on.
I was going to say, is this pulled from YouTube or is this the raw file?
This is the raw file, but I don't know how well it's going to go over because it's technically uploading to. There you go. There's your names in the credits.
I'm glad you actually like distinguished
The cyclist.
the cyclist. Yeah.
But the first cut was going to be mine was like a long list. Mine was like 8 times longer than yours because obviously it's like I was putting water boy, cameraman, editor, driver, soigneur, drone pilot.
Everything. Yeah. I only had one job.
Yeah, but you did film yourself as well.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. But
yeah, so
I had one job. Didn't even do that properly.
Well, you did. You set it up for a sequel.
yeah. I knew that. Like when I was riding around, I was like I'm not going to finish this. This is time for time. What they call that? What's that? It's the universal. Oh no, that's the.
What the?
I can't remember it. It's from a film. I can't remember what it is exactly.
When you went past me, and I was just trying to find your voicemail from the first from your first viewing, but we got so many messages about this blooming video. It's there we go. Yeah, when I saw you at the top of the toll road, and you were like, and I was just like, oh, what? He's done that, and he cycled on. Like I was there thinking.
Yeah, road past because I was committed to first of all getting to the top of the hill because it wasn't technically at the top. I thought it like drops down a little bit, but then it goes up again to the top before the ice cream van and down into Porlock. But also I was committed to the shot. So if you had your drone up, like I didn't want to like. Potentially that could have been. I knew what the views were like at the top, so potentially I didn't want to like just pull in there and for you to be like, that would have been a good shot of you like just going off down that. So like I was like, I'll just keep going, and then he'll just pull over behind me whenever I decide to pull in, which was like probably the worst place to pull in because there was like a million horseflies or whatever they were.
Yeah, they were huge, weren't they? I worked out when you stayed with us, you're quite scared of spiders and wasps.
But I worked out.
That's what I noticed.
Why would you invite a wasp inside your van?
Yeah, but we spent 30 minutes trying to get them out of the van.
They're still in there, I reckon.
Yeah, they probably were. And then we worked out they weren't even wasps. They were these huge, I don't know what they were, Hinkley Point nuclear-powered flies, weren't they? I don't know if they were horseflies or whatever. They were huge and brown. Yeah. You can see them in the video. You can see them sort of fly around Ed's head. By that time, I'd lost the camera. So I had left this camera. I've said about it on Behind the Com. So I set this up later on for Ed to come and film, fly past me. And I left this. I sent the drone up. What happened was, quickly, I sent the drone up. I put this on the floor. Ed had to avoid it. He sort of had to cycle past it. The drone had to land when I followed Ed down the valley a bit. So I went and got the drone because it was out of battery. Drove off. Drove back past the camera. Drove 7 miles to go and give Ed another water bottle. 4 minutes it took for this camera to get picked up, which I've got on video. Like you can have a look at that later. The woman sort of picking it up and me just driving past it. So yeah, that was a bit annoying. So then, which meant at the top of the hill it was quite windy. So I just filmed on my phone then, and I just chucked this. Got this little road mic which was on the phone, and I think you knew something was up because I had the phone out.
Yeah. Well, no. Funnily enough, I didn't have a clue. I at that point, I was thinking to myself, I'm halfway through, distance-wise, and I've been running for 4 hours 45, I think it was. And by then, I knew if I'm halfway now, like, we're talking like nearly 9 hours, and the time cut was 7 hours 45. So the last thing on my mind was, oh, Scott's using his phone to film me. Part of me thinks, like, this is the difference between me like now and me maybe 4 or 5 years ago. Like, part of me thinks like, oh, I could have cracked on, could have done it. But the next day I wouldn't have been able to ride. In fact, I wouldn't have been able to ride home the day after that, I reckon. Like, with the heat as well. Well, there's just an accumulated effect of everything. Like, if I had spent 9 hours riding my bike that day, yeah, I would have been cooked. And like, I probably would have like had the farts twice as bad.
Oh no! So, like, I would have just driven you home, I think, with the windows open. No, I'm pretty pleased that I was a bit of a mess the next day as well, and I was kind of thinking, oh, I've only been sat in a van, and yeah, I think it sort of took its toll on both of us a bit, but like. So I'm pretty glad, looking back now, that it didn't go on all day. Oh, I didn't have enough drone battery anyway to get you anymore. So the reason why it's 2-time British champion, Lord just put there, just need to add 2-time hill climb champion to that list. And then he's put Welsh champion. Ed's under 23 British road champion. So he's 1 times British hill climbing champion and 1 times under 23 road race champion. So that's why he's always 2-time British champion. And lots of people do get that wrong. They always say 2-time British hill climb champion, and you're not yet.
No, I know, this year, yeah, it'd be a different story. The prep will be immaculate.
Yeah.
As will video production. Anyway, so
oh god, no pressure.
The training plans are paying for for you to sit in your bum. Yeah. I don't know, there's not much more to say about the actual ride itself. It's more like the aftermath of it, I think. Like, the ride itself and the footage. And
I'd say they're salmon. I don't know what that is.
This isn't playing smoothly for me, but is it playing smoothly for you?
I mean, he's...
no.
All right.
Come on in. Today.
comms are.
So, oh right. Well, let's skip through it, and then we'll what we'll do. So is do it this way then. So you got 5 to 6 comms. How many did you get?
You've put me on the spot now. Keep talking.
I think it was 4. I think 4 or 5 came up on my view, but I think a few of them are hidden. So it depends on which ones you hide, because obviously some of them you've probably got a couple of comms within the longer comm.
Still count, don't they?
Oh, do they?
Well, if it's a crown, yes.
What? I mean, I would count it, but would you count it?
Depends if I was going for it.
Yeah, but
One,
so if you've got like, the trouble is people replicate them, don't they?
I got 4. I got 4 comms, but I had numerous top 10s.
Yeah, and I think you've got about 4 more in the hidden section.
Oh yeah, I can't see them on the app.
Yeah. But yeah, I think Michael Haran picked out you had 4. Talk us through the food then. So we went to Tesco's the day before.
Yeah, well, that was on your video, wasn't it?
Link up there.
Brunch. Although I thought those Trek bars were yours, as were those dry as feck. Those biscuit things there to the right of the mini jelly beans. You sent me home with those. You must have done it as a funny joke. No, they're all right. They're all right, but they're gluten free.
There goes the NEN sponsorship. So that's another sponsor, nutrition sponsor then. So they're NENs.
It's my fault, guys. I'm writing off sponsors left, right, and centre.
Yeah. Tesco jelly beans. So yeah, I mean the Trek were mine, but I think you had a protein. They're called protein flapjacks, 9 grams of protein. But literally, you did it on. How many gels do you have?
None. What do you want gels for?
I know how many gels you had, but no one else did.
Your bucket of gels did not get used, but I ate mainly those apple fruit bakes, which are basically like I think Kellogg's do. Was it Kellogg's? Oh, we're just dropping
Nutrigrain bars.
Nutrigrain, yeah.
Yeah.
We're just dropping brand names now, left, right, and centre.
Yeah.
I
was just trying to go full screen.
Brunch. I ate.
Cadbury's, are they?
Yeah, Cadbury's.
Oh, Jaffa cakes.
Jaffa cakes, yeah, they're not included in the edit.
Well, I think
that's all I ate. I didn't eat those dry as feck bars. I didn't eat the Trek bars. And the jelly beans were like rogue, guys. I don't know what was going on there. Like Scott, somehow they like found themselves in amongst our bag of food, and I was like, why have we just got like 180-gram bag of jelly beans? Like, where do they come from?
Well, because you bought a bag down with you, didn't you?
Yeah, but these didn't get eaten, so like.
No, I've eaten them now. No, but you could have ripped into them. So what's quite funny is we went to Tesco's. Neither of us had our This is what's funny is like I think people will look at what your effort was and they'll go, yeah, why aren't Science and Sport getting in touch, or why wasn't OTE getting in touch, or any of the nutrition sponsors or something? Just say, look, have a load of our products. So there's me and 2-time British champion going around Tesco's he's going, I don't know if I can stretch to the Nutrigrains. I'll go for the Tesco's own. But those jelly beans are really good.
It's also what was cheapest. So, but we may have potential thing in the pipeline. I'm saying that like with a 3% chance of certainty, but because of that video, well, it's not just because of that video, but it does help when you have a video that you can just go, look at this. Like it really showcases what we're about or what we're capable of doing. Then maybe when we actually like pull our pants up, pull our socks up.
You were pulling your pants down most of the weekend. I keep calling it a weekend, but so you got the com up the first climb again, which was pretty profile screen.
Profile doom.
Which was so funny. I mean, when you first this is you seeing the first edit, wasn't it? So the plan was Ed like we bashed our head. I didn't just edit this myself. I did the editing myself, but we didn't construct the video by myself. It was like a real joint effort on everything. So and it was stuff like this, which Ed. I don't even know if you saw this in the first draft or if I left this for the main draft. But there's some stuff like we spoke about. We had the bike section, which we wanted to make a little bit shorter, and we didn't know where to put it in either. We had you going. All I kept saying to Ed on the day was like, mention like as you go and just mention something like, I had my breakfast, and I'll shoot back to yesterday when he's doing his overnight oats, adding his cinnamon in his slippers. So you just had breakfast was just overnight oats, wasn't it? Good portion of overnight oats, about 50 grams.
Well, it should have been more, but I woke up late and didn't have time to eat it all. So I left the other half in the fridge.
Which you had. You just non-stop eating. So it's
but I had a nice coffee, guys. I had a nice coffee. So
no coffee sponsor yet.
Moving on.
Geraint Thomas, haven't you? So this was. I'll play this because I don't think you say anything in here too rude. So this was your impression after the first thing, first viewing.
Where do I start? I can't believe how well you've chopped that together. It's like even that bit, the wordy toll road. I noticed that I had to rewind it and watch it twice because I noticed that you'd sounded like you put your own voice in there because the wind might have muffled it, which is a good call if you did do that. But and that bike, when we went through top of the bike scene too, that feels like it's in like a perfect spot, and there's like an equal amount of montage either side. It just works. And all of that in like 15 and a half minutes is it's likely your greatest achievement to date.
Yeah, brilliant.
So everyone's saying, is it your favourite episode you've ever edited? And it's probably the best one I've ever edited. Obviously, I don't think I don't know. I enjoy editing all of my videos and stuff, but maybe the bike packing, even though that had its own issues, was like.
I've got a question for you.
Yeah,
I've got a question for you. So, like, if you know the content is world class.
Well, content or the person I'm filming.
I don't know. Let the people decide.
The subject matter is world class.
Well, it obviously makes it easier, but does it make it? I'm guessing it makes you want to do it more, and it makes you want to experiment more with, like, how far can I stretch, like, something like. We had an awful lot of like GoPro footage from the front of the car, and like, if I was creeping up those climbs, or the climbs weren't like savagely steep with switchback, like, you had a lot of like, I feel like you had a lot of like really tasty bits to get your teeth into with like the edit. So like, does something like that like really get you going when you've got all that to work? Like, it's not just like a run of the mill. It's like, this video is.
I think Phil is in the chat, and he was always said like you've got to be like ruthless with the edit and on like my com hunt stuff. And sometimes you do fall into this thing, this kind of this habit of just dumping everything onto the timeline and just going through the motions of edit and stuff like that. And what I do like to try and do, which takes maybe a half maybe a third of the time again is to do stuff out of context and out of time and everything like that. But I think with this one, I think we were both sort of editing it as we went along. Like I was editing it 2 days before. We were watching videos on, like, we sat in, this is how sad we are. Like we were sat watching videos of not how to edit on YouTube, but like famous sort of vlog editors just breaking down videos and just going, right, this works really well here. So there's stuff like we've used with the bike at the start where I had Mark in the bike shop, which I've got a whole 8-minute video, which I'll upload to Behind the Com of Mark in the bike shop. And he goes, didn't he? I was just, do you think he can do it? And he's like, or do you think the bike's going to hold up? The bike was a bit of a factor, wasn't it? Because obviously the day we came back, you went through the strawberry field, whatever it's called, the strawberry path or something on the way down from Cheddar. The bike was a mess. And like, you were like, don't worry about it. And I was like, it's almost like we're going to have this epic video.
That's me all over. That's me all over. Like, I've turned up to races when I was riding for teams and I'd be like, what pressure do you want in the tires? I'm like, yeah, whatever's in them now.
You didn't like.
It really doesn't bother me. Like,
unless it's on the tires once here.
No.
You rode 100 miles or whatever it was down. You did that ride on Tuesday, Wednesday. We did the time trial on the Thursday. You rode on Thursday morning to go for breakfast. Local celeb getting tagged on Instagram by all the local companies, and then you rode home and you didn't touch your PSI once. You just, and I think it's quite nice for, well, not that people saw that, but there's people that will like, Bullet, if you're watching on Facebook, it's not a dig at you, but he'll take his track pump everywhere he goes. He would have it on his back if he could, just to top it up at the feed station.
He brought it to the time trial.
Yeah, he did. And his lube. He took it to the Sportif on Sunday.
Well, funny enough, in that time trial, I didn't have my 11 sprocket.
Right, Mark.
Well, no, it was because... Yeah,
we had tested. We
made sure adjusted it because it was because of the hilly ride the day before. Wanted to make sure I could get in my easiest gear.
Yeah,
and it was not quite going in the 11. So it was like, well, I'm better off having the easiest and not having the 11 than kind of having the 11 and not being quite able to. But then forgot to play around with it, and I did the TT in the 52.12. And I bashed out a 22 minute.
Which are coming down like a 42 mile an hour hill instead there.
Yeah, well, I didn't pedal down there. Yeah.
Well, you didn't need it then. That's fine. But yeah, so I cleaned your bike. We are going all over the place, aren't we? Because you just asked me about editing. I cleaned your bike, and it all goes back down to the edit. I thought, I'm gonna be behind him with the GoPro. So what we did with the GoPro, I got one of these suckers that goes on the. It's a GoPro one, so it goes on windscreens, but I put it on the bonnet. I assume you can put it on the bonnet or anything like that. So put it on the bonnet, and then the GoPro sort of mounts onto that. So and then you can, even though I was obviously doing it legally, you can press start and go from your phone. So you could that's a game changer, isn't it? Like being able to record without getting out, pressing the button, getting back in, driving off. I did have to do a couple of times because the connection was a bit dodgy. I guess it's like Wi-Fi, and so there's one time where I've got like another 6 gig of footage because you saw I took like 3 million photos.
Yeah.
So something happened, like I pressed record and it just went onto photo mode, and it was like loads of those photos for you. So
and there's me thinking you're slick Rick over here.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's definitely not after you. That's what you saw. So I wanted the bike. Like, what's the point of not having the bike looking nice, and carrying that extra weight of that extra 20 grams of gravel or mud?
I wonder if like sponsors are watching. Well, sponsors are watching. Well, I don't know why they're
There's
watching
18
this.
people watching. There's none of these sponsors.
Let them know. I wonder if they look at like a muddy bike, like in a video like that, and they think like, authentic, or do they think like, you know, he doesn't take care of his bike, and you know, he's not like one of those influencers you see on Instagram or YouTube who don't ride their bike, they just like wash it, and every time they take a picture, their bike is immaculate. I'm like, how is your bike immaculate every time you ride it? Like, unless you live in Australia. Ben's in the chat. Oh, not just Ben. Like, if you live somewhere where it hardly ever rains, like, okay, it gets dusty. Yeah, dusty. But like, I don't know how people like nearly every, unless they're taking like multiple pictures on one day when it's really nice, and then they just reuse those pictures. Maybe that's what they do. But I'm not the type of person that does that.
I think Nat's picked up a few that go, I've seen that photo before, and you just scroll back down the feed, and it's just the same photo. So it's I think there's a difference between, it's probably to do with the brands, isn't it? Like, you know, depending on the bike brand, I'm sure a lot of them would like to see a used bike. Obviously my TikToks and my shorts channel is probably just written off any chance of any bike support ever.
Yes, don't put candle wax on your cassette, kids.
But that was the video that WD-40 have seen and are quite interested in, and we've got 400,000 views on another one of doing that little spray on your bike. So, and as you know, you've been added as an editor to my shorts channel, and it's kicking off a bit over there. I think by this time tomorrow,
I haven't worked out though to accept that request yet.
Yeah, not that you want to. You'll just upload something as well. So back to the bike. Yeah, I washed the bike, and literally I didn't do a full wash. We just sort of give it a bit of a swirl down, and I didn't even take the front wheel out. We did take the rear wheel out, and literally put it back on. You got a nice spot there, and then
that's my scar mush.
All right, it's coming out because you're tanned. And then the front mech just didn't go up into the big one. I didn't even clear the. I didn't even move the front mech when I didn't even put it into the big ring when I was cleaning it, which you normally would do anyway. No, I didn't. Honestly, I didn't.
I came downstairs from my bed mode, and
what time? I mean, what, 6 o'clock? 7 o'clock?
Yeah, it might have been 6. Yeah. I was like,
the night before.
It's very quiet outside. What's happening? And then it's like, something's all right, dear. Something's all right. It wasn't me. I was like, don't worry. I've done worse.
So we called up Mark the mechanic, and I'm again, Mark, I'm in the shit here. Like, Ed, we are getting up. He's like, what time are you off tomorrow? I was like, we are off. We are getting up like 4:30. Like, we've got to get down to Woolacombe before it gets too hot, before it gets too busy.
Scott had a right flap.
And then he goes like, obviously everything worked out, and it's easy to look back on now. What I have learned is whatever happens, just keep rolling the camera. Like, there's no way I was pointing a camera in your face, because we haven't got the bike wash, and we got a bit of walking to Tesco's once Mark said he'd look at it. But he goes like, bearing in mind he's just come back from a nasty gravel. He nearly died on a gravel bike a few weeks back, and he tore his spleen and everything. So, and he's just getting back into work, and he's on painkillers, and I was thinking, please sort it out and stuff. And I was trying to wrap my brain, whose bike can we pinch if we have to and stuff. So into full panic mode, which meant that night was awful, wasn't it? Because we were down there until we left there at 9:30 or whatever. We came back,
12.
we had dinner. Yeah, I mean, we didn't get to bed until, was it midnight? 11 midnight?
Shut up. You maybe. I was, guys, I'm the athlete here.
What time did you get to bed? I can't remember.
It was about 10 or something.
Yeah. You knew what time I got to bed.
2.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then you said you had a few com attacks during the night, so you were like, you didn't really sleep properly.
3:15. So, and then people were saying like, "Oh, why did you forget the camera?" I forgot the camera because I was trying to save the drone. That was the moral of the story. But yeah, so anyway, that was fixed, and we went down to Tesco's and got some grub, and drove off to the start, didn't we? So the tech that we used, you had 2 GoPros on you, didn't you?
Yeah, one, yeah.
Yeah.
The other one's on the
I've been
bike
telling
now.
people we only had 2 GoPros because you were using, obviously, yours. You didn't shoot much on the bike from the. I think you used 1 GoPro battery all weekend, didn't you? I call it weekend.
Yeah, well, I brought both batteries for both GoPros, and I didn't even have to swap. Well, the one I was actually filming on. Yeah, I didn't have to swap. In fact, I still haven't. It's still got 40% battery left.
So, like, I mean,
GoPro, where's the sponsorship?
yeah, okay. We're buying everything now. Yeah, we have got. Let me just see here. I've got all your GoPro footage. So you've got your GoPro. You use GoPro Hero 7 and a 9, and that's funny because I've got the 8. So we have the 7, 8, 9 on the day. Let me just see what we've got there. Control.
We are gonna get. Are we gonna have a sneak peek in my analytic?
Yeah, we're gonna do that. And I was just gonna. Oh, I've got
Grim is definitely hot. Yeah, I've been told by Scott I can't have my fan on too loud, so I'm sweating when I do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, Lord, I'm tagging Tifosi left, right, and centre. I'm like, come on, where's his bikes? Like, time's getting on. It's in August now.
Yeah, go and like that post that Ed's put on about his bike. So we had the drone. Obviously, we had the drone that we everyone. It's funny, isn't it? Like, as soon as I got the drone, which was lovingly bought from my Patreons on Com Hunt TV Patreons and Behind the Com Patreons and all Patreons. So it's the DJI Mavic 2, which I don't know why Do Not Disturb mode's not on. So it's 250 grams. It's a 4K camera. Ali Pig, she'll like that name. In the comments, we'll know this one. Let me just change to a bigger screen. We'll know this one because it's the same one as hers. What I've got here is my flyer ID. So I passed my test, or the flyer ID and the operator ID. So I've got my flyer ID and everything on there that you need, which I should now put on my. I should put my phone number on the Canyon as well. So that was the drone. We shot in 1080 all day, 30 frames per second.
Not 4K.
Not 4K. Sometimes I do upload in 4K and export the project in 4K, but I didn't for this one because we didn't have that much. There wasn't that much GoPro footage, which is where I think it really struggles. The 1080. Also, you're a bigger YouTuber than me, so what happens is on the what?
Bigger YouTuber.
Well, I'm taller, but you're bigger.
I'm a cyclist.
Yeah, you are a YouTuber as well. This is the controller. So let me just.
Yeah, what were you gonna say? You're gonna say also you're a bigger YouTuber than me. ...
Oh, so what happens is there's a couple of different compression algorithm or compression systems that YouTube use. So what can happen is if you upload in 1080p as a smaller YouTuber, you can get really rough on the compression. So anytime there's any fast moving, he'll fart in a minute as well. Whenever there's any fast moving footage, it gets really rough, which you'll probably see in my video. So sometimes I do bypass it by doing that. You need to upload to get proper. You need to upload in 4K. So like Titanium Ben says, you need upload in 4K just to get proper 1080p. Otherwise, you get it very compressed, especially on the fast moving stuff. But because the fast moving stuff was was just little clips. It wasn't a lot. I didn't do it and did do the project in 4K because again the laptop takes off as it is. We used 3 batteries for the GoPro for the drone, so I got 3 batteries. Each battery was lasting only about 18 minutes because it's so windy where I was putting it up, which normally they would last a bit longer than that. So there's that, and the whole main camera was the Canon G7X Mark II, which hasn't got a built-in microphone. So I think, considering the tech we've got, you can hold in both hands. That's how small that one is.
Yeah.
You were quite liking the little camera.
Yeah. Well, it just packs a punch.
Yeah.
Plus, it depends. Isn't it? Like, you know, GCN, they're rocking like. Well, they're rocking a motorbike to start with. Usually, well, they would for that, I would imagine, with the lanes. You know, proper man with a camera.
2 film crews for the trenching.
Oh, was it?
Mm.
So
Crossing over each other and stuff.
plus Hank's dad, you know, what's his feet like?
Yeah.
Hank must be lurking in the chat actually because he commented on the video.
Yeah, so Hank, I haven't pulled that up in the comments, but Hank did comment on the video and he said,
He said him and his dad loved it.
He did. He said, Dad and I loved this video. Ed, you smashed it, pal. And Hank's dad, I like the way he calls him. Hank calls his dad Hank's dad. Wants you as a rider on his team. He said you did better than Connor and I. Nice work, both. Nice work. Move my king. Both of you. Very entertaining vid. So that was nice. I was a bit worried because we were ripping off their idea, and it could have gone either way. I've seen Hank comment before on someone else's videos and just said GCN have done that, and it's just like it's kind of like you don't know. I think it was done in such a we were respectful. GCN gets such a bad side of it, don't they? They always get ripped into for stuff, but at the end of the day, they're employees getting a wage and all the presenters and stuff. So it's not really.
Well, it's because they were the first, isn't it? I think so. They're always going to be not targeted. You know what I mean? But the thing is, I've learned anyway. Like, everybody's got a different angle on the same topic or same situation. So, like, we've come at it from a different angle. Like, because of the weather they had on the day to start with, which was out of their control, like, there was only so much they could do with having bad weather. So we actually, like, inadvertently created a better advertisement for the local area because it was a nice day. And we were able to get a drone up and do stuff. So, plus, I've never had a drone follow it, I don't think, ever. Plus, you know, we were doing it in a different way. I know somebody said, like, you know, would it be better if you had, like, a group of you doing it and things like that. But the difficulty is you need, like, a group of people who could do 6 watts per kilo every time up a climb. So that's the other angle. We're laughing at.
There's just not many people like that, is there?
There's not many machines. So you know, you need to look at it like we were coming from a different angle. It was like, at the end of the day, I always look at these things first and foremost as a very good training session, and if it's not a training session, it's a very good test for something bigger. So, like, if I'd finished that ride, it would have been great for, like, the Everesting. You know, but it's not compulsory. Like, I don't have to finish the ride because the video turned out great anyway. Plus, it lends itself to a sequel. Like that. It's just like
it's these little things. Like, obviously, there's loads of stories from the day, and but this is one where the tracker was saying Ed's 15 minutes away, as in the last location for Ed was 15 minutes. And I was thinking, oh, I've got to get to Valley of the Rocks. So I went to try and buy a USB-C charger from a local petrol station there. Couldn't get that because I had this big battery pack, and I was thinking I can then charge the drone batteries from that charger, from that battery pack. So I went off there to get some fuel and try and find some cables and stuff. And then I was just putting the drone up thinking, he's going to fly through here. I'm going to have to get the drone up and just hope I've timed it right to see him come around the corner, because the tracking was just rubbish by that time. So this was probably was this the time you, I think that's the time you...
Well, nearly decked it.
Yeah, you nearly decked it with the...
Mountain Goat.
Yeah, you smashed it there, didn't you?
Right, they could have had Exmo News headline, Mountain Goat hits Mountain Goat.
You I killed a mountain goat, I would have thought, if you
probably,
50 kilometers. And it's obviously, like, I'm very new to flying the drone, as my sort of Patreons will know, and Ali there, I'm sort of learning as much. There you are. So just as I landed the drone, thinking I haven't got much more battery, you sort of came around the corner. So I was like, get it up again, and I could see you. That white top was brilliant. I could see you from miles away. Obviously, it was a long way away, this one. So
affiliate link, Bandit Climbers.
Yeah. So you can see here, I've got to get to the roundabout, the velodrome, and then again, sorry, it's not smooth, so it's a bit annoying. It's kind of ruined this whole video, but like, and then you came up and then pulled in, and then I landed the drone and stuff. But yeah, so it is a beautiful location. That was one of the places I did want to get the drone footage. Definitely there. It was just a bit annoying where I didn't have a clue if you were going to come around the corner or not. So
yeah, so let's talk about the people then. Let's talk about how the people have made this an epic video. It's actually like, so as good as what Scott has done, and as impressive as my writing is, as always, we need people to watch the video, obviously. You all know how it works. You don't need to, tell you to suck eggs. Like, you watch the video, you like the video, you comment on the video. Like, it's very simple life, simple actions. But we were watching it, we were thinking, like, this is, like, hopefully this is going to be well received. Like, it's a little bit different to, like, but it's not different in the sense that, I'm doing the same old, but the way it's put together and the way the story is told is different, and we hope that comes across, well, and there's still a bit of, like, humor in there, there's still a bit of maybe education in there in some way, my own education.
We were a little bit worried there's going to be a negative kickback as well, weren't we? Because it's a bit different to the before. We thought, well, what, like I sort of said, I think before we said about a sequel, which was filmed quite late, I said, we're going to have to do a follow-up or something. And you're like, if this is successful, and you're like, oh, what's successful? What would make it successful? I was thinking, well, I don't know, like 1 out of the last 10 like best videos. Yeah,
my last 10 videos were just like vlogs, weren't they? Run-of-the-mill vlogs. Apart from when I bust my jockey wheel. But it was, wasn't it? It's like, I think it's still gonna go hopefully.
Yeah, so this comment that you're reading there is from Eamon. So should I pull up the stats? Eamon from the Discord, he sent this one in. And people say about the high production quality. Again, it's just two guys with a couple of GoPros. The drone obviously helped. If we didn't have that, I think it would have definitely lost something. But you got to use that drone. You can't just chuck a drone shot in. And there's some other YouTubers that just chuck drone shots in for the sake of it. There's one that's getting ready for an event, and it's like, right, I'm going to get ready for the event now, and the drone just goes up, and it's like, and then he goes back down, and he's like, right, I'm just zipping up. It's just like, yeah, that was nice, but it didn't help evolve the story. And hopefully me and Ed were very cautious, not wanting to use too much of the drone, to then go, people get bored of it or anything like that. Hopefully it was that fine line. Again, going back to the drone. So shall I pull up the stats?
Thing is with the drone as well, I chirp in, like, it's your drone. I don't have a drone. I did ask people at one point, like, should I get a drone, blah, 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 blah. And most people were saying, no. Get hold of someone that has one and then use it sparingly. So for an epic or for whatever it is you're doing, use it then. Like, don't use it for, like, you know, oh, me and Charles are going to Tesco's and we're gonna, like, go and buy some salmon tonight. You know, they're like, hey, we're walking to Tesco's. Here's the drone. Yeah, like, so yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, but there was loads of thoughts that went into that one there. So it's let's share screen. I'll probably lose you now, Ed. So you can you'll have to shout if you want me to stop and stuff.
Right.
Can you see that?
Yeah.
Cool. So this is the main stats page. And you can see here, so this grey line along here is the usual YouTube video. So that's the usual sort of variant of view. So normal videos fall in that. So you can see here that it has gone, it has done a lot better. So typical in that period is 1,200 to 1,700, and it's at 5,000. It's 3 times higher than normal. More regular viewers are choosing to watch it and watch it longer. So you don't get this message every time, and as Phil knows, if he's still in the chat, you do get this message when a video is doing well. I've never seen this message or anything on my main channel, but I've seen it on Phil's and Ed's. So you do get this. Let me zoom in. I don't know. Is that large enough for you to see?
I'm watching on full screen. I can read the text just about. Oh, I could read it now easier.
There you go. So. Videos such, well, obviously you guys can read it there. It's just saying that it just gives you these little pointers, which I really like reading on Phil's channel and your channel when it happens, because again, you don't get this for every video, so it sort of explains a little bit about it. And again, high click-through rate, the normal 8.3%. The usual is 6.5 to 7.5. The actual overall click-through rate has dropped because we're getting shown as suggested videos, which is the little ones on the side of other videos, which is what you want, but it does drag down your, because there's so many options there, it does drag down your click-through rate. And again, longer than average. So on average, viewers of the channel watched this video for 9.5 minutes, nearly 4 minutes longer than usual.
And considering that's like 10 minutes, well, nearly 10 minutes, and the video was only 16, whereas, like, I know you prompted me, you said, you know, what sort of length are we going for? And I was like, anywhere between like that 15 and 23 or something, wasn't it? Or 18 and 23. Yeah. And it was a miracle. When I saw that and it was under 18, I was like, oh, flipping heck, fair play. Like, getting it under 18. I mean, like, yeah, I could have done it as well, but I wouldn't have, like, you got to be so, like, ruthless, but you've also got to, like, pack it, don't you? Like,
yeah,
it's got to punch heavy when there's only, but then people are happy, I hope, like, that it's well, I know some comments were like, I would have watched that if it was 30 minutes, but
yeah, and I think like it just turns into a different sort of style video, and I think like we said early on, we said like the day before, we need it to be a 15-minute video is what we really want it to be, to potentially, hopefully. I mean, we're not shying away here. Like, we both busted our balls on this, and we really want YouTube to show it to people, which is why we've probably been shouting about it quite a lot and gushing over it, because we want people to. And the comments has been amazing as well, isn't it? No one comments on Ed's videos, but this one does. All the hardcore do, but like there's a little message which is not there anymore, but it did come up. I think it might be on the phone, and it says due to regular viewers commenting more than regular, we're showing this to more people or something. And I was just like, there you go, comments are important. Watch time 700 hours. So again, 611 hours more than normal. 15 subscribers, which pretty good. I can't see what you're doing if you're doing something.
I just give it a thumbs up.
So you can see here. So the click rate here, click-through rate, is 4.6%. Again, it was because it's being shown to a wider audience. YouTube says in their message there, don't worry about that. I'm not worried about the click-through rate, to be honest. The only thing I would potentially change now is maybe take now that Ed Laverak's fans have all seen it. What I might do with the thumbnail here. What I might do is put because it's showing we're getting a lot of views now from suggested, which is a very small thumbnail. You're not going to be able to see GCN's Giro stage there. So what I might do now is flip it and reverse it. So I might put actual GCN in that top bit, maybe make the banner red. I don't know. Ed doesn't get a choice. I'll just have to do it. And it might capture it. So we've nailed the Ed Laverak fans, and hopefully then people might see it as a GCN. They'll see the GCN and think, "Oh, this is interesting. What's this?" and stuff. But I don't think we're that worried. We're not that worried about it. I'd say 55% engagement on a 16-minute video that's getting shown outside of your audience is really good. This is the other one I wanted to bring up.
My word, 100% male.
Yeah, as well. That might be delay. It might go down to about 99%.
Katie, where are you at?
Katie, keep sharing. And this is interesting because this is obviously what we want. In a way, you want people to subscribe, but you also, like on my behind the com videos, they get shot. I think it's like 80 to 90. Some of them are like 95% are viewed from subscribe. So you're not reaching any new audience. So my stats are great on behind the com for the engagement and the click-through rate because it's not being shown to anyone new. So this is quite promising in a way. If you had this on every video, you'd be like, right, we need to get people to subscribe to this channel. And, bring in some new eyes. The next video you've done or the next sort of proper vlog you do, it might have a bit of an uptick.
Well, the next proper vlog is an actual cycling vlog. Me and Anthony are going out. We've gone for a ride to stop at a cafe that we haven't been to in like 3 years. Epic views. No drone shots though. But, funny that is a proper cycling vlog. Like the next video is a proper cycling vlog, as in the old school vlogs that people... Well, I read comments on other people's videos and it's what people are... They're like tearing their hair out over. Tearing their hair out over. So I'm like, yeah, here's a cycling vlog. Come and click over here. But yeah, I don't know why it's showing that, Katie. It's strange, isn't it? Maybe, I don't know.
It does. It'll probably, some of the stats are a little bit, that one, I reckon, most of your stuff, like 98% or whatever.
Yeah, maybe it's super marginal.
Like Lord said there, it's there. But we do, I think, when we looked at it last time and put it on Discord, I think my main channel attracts the most women, which is crazy because of Bullet. But it's still it's like 90%, whatever it was with the stats I showed. So, and I think lots of people like Liam Wilson was in the chat earlier. He was like saying, well, we watch it on my account, sat with my wife, and we really like it. So it's like she's not going to go and log into her phone and watch it again, is she? So
Ben has said never go full clickbait, or can you?
Discussion a few weeks ago. I'm not sure. Oh no.
No, it's back. it's the previous comment.
Ed's. Wonder if it will get suggested. So from the GCN vid. At the moment, we're seeing it suggested. The big ones are Alex Dowsett's latest video, Cycling Weekly's latest video with Chris Opie. They're the two big ones we're getting suggested on. Hopefully, the idea would be to get suggested from that one. But then, how many new views is that is that video going to get at the moment? So, so clickbait is an interesting one, isn't it? Because you haven't got a viral video.
Yeah, my British Hill Climb Championship one.
26,000 views isn't viral, is it?
That was I would wonder how much of that is like people from the hill climb scene, people who know me locally, people who already follow me at the time, and maybe shared it with one or two of them. Like, I wonder how much of that is just like word of mouth or something, and like it's YouTube hasn't gone.
Yeah, but you've always been very anti, and we've spoke about this before. Is about the videos you make. It's like you could easily make top 5 tips for hill climbing.
Yeah, I can.
You probably have in a way. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You probably have in a way in a vlog, and
I can do top 5 tips for hill climbing, but I talk about them like really often, but they're just not hidden. They're in videos. Like in the one that I went out yesterday, I talk about like the same old. Like, you press harder when you're going slower, and you press easier when you're going faster. You know, if people want me to go down a nutrition route, I can go down a nutrition route and like bore you for like a month on like this is how I track my food. This is how I like eat 80% of my macros before 4 p.m. in the afternoon, or I save all of my carbs until the evening, or, you know, I do this, that, and the next thing, and that all plays a part. And it all plays a part in getting faster going uphill. It's never like, you know, it's never like, here's 5 tips for going faster up a climb. And it kind of comes down to the coaching side of things, because I coach people as well. It's like, there aren't 5 tips. Well, there are, but you already know them. Like, common sense, you know how to climb faster. But clickbait, I don't feel like comfortable when I do it. I just feel like, it gives me a feeling, gives me a funny tingle. But the other thing is, I don't feel like I can actually do clickbait. Like, nothing I do is clickbait. Like, how do I clickbait? Like, I try to do 7 watts per kilo for 20 minutes. It's not clickbait. Like, I'm trying to do it.
yeah, because you deliver on it.
So how extreme does the clickbait have to be? Does it have to be like, I try? Like, if Lachlan Morton was on YouTube and he did, I'm gonna ride the Tour de France route like in front of the Tour de France, you'd just think like, yeah, that's not happening. And then he does it.
Ben's right, and he doesn't build subs. It's kind of and the subs it would bring in if Ed put hill climber crashes his bike or something. It's just like, and you did crash, and it would.
That's the one that we were talking about, was pro hill climber. Because I know GCN have used it with Andrew Feather. Hang on, let me just throw a dart at the wall. Every time I mention his name. No, I'm joking. But like, how do I call myself a pro hill climber? I don't.
We talked about it, didn't we? And I sort of think that I think I've called you pro hill climber on a YouTube short that's got what, 40,000 views now. And there's only one person that's commented, and the YouTube shorts, as you can imagine, get like, they're as bad as TikTok for the comments. But one person's commented and said, "That's not a pro's bike."
Do you know what I like?
Ride Old Tegra, and I was just like, "You ride your bike for a living, technically."
Do you know what I like? I like calling myself what the community calls me. And before you say anything,
an influencer.
No, Lord's going to say, "Oh, virtual cyclist." I like calling myself, Zwifter. Yeah. I like calling myself. So if I could, I'd say like Ed mode does, Giro stage. Do you know what I mean? Like, if it got to the point where I could like call myself what the community knows me as, I know I call myself Ed Laverack. People would know. People would know that, but it's like if you watch a cycling video and it's like the Cannibal, Eddie Merckx, or like the Manx Missile, Cavendish. It's like. Bullet Bill, Nathan Bill. You can call yourself things like that, and other people can call me. You've done it, and it's effective. But
I think people see you as a pro, and we've had not arguments, but you've sort of bit it a few times where you've been called a pro cyclist. It's like, because you don't get paid to ride a bike, you don't get technically. You've made, and I think you see it as a bit of a dig. It's like going, you're doing everything you're doing without being a pro almost, and it's kind of like you feel that maybe labeling you as a pro cyclist, like you don't get paid by Tifosi to ride a bike. You don't get given stuff to make content like some of the other influencers do, because you're in that fine line of actual pro cyclists just get given stuff, and people that are influencers get given stuff. They seem to forget you. Like, being completely honest.
Well, yeah, you can be honest. I'm in my eyes, like Danny said there, you're a pro in my eyes. I appreciate that. In my eyes, I still conduct myself as a pro, and I think whatever that means. But like, I still like what I do. We were talking about this, about like the fact that this video was like kaboom, and I was thinking how like I'm trying to like do YouTube, but I'm also like trying to be like the fittest, like, or the best climber in the world. I'll say that because I would try and go and take like the biggest drama. Like, there's no other way I do it unless I was a pro and I was racing for a World Tour team. I'm racing against them. There's no other way you compare yourself against them. And I've got the opportunity at a young age. But like the video that came out of the weekend is like the videos that I've like not dreamt of doing, but like when I've seen like these nicely made videos, like when I was on teams and we'd have a cameraman following us or something at an event, he would, it just looked like really, really cool. And I, like, to myself, like, I know what's actually happening on the inside. Like, it's an absolute shambles. Like, things are falling apart, people can't find things, and it's like that. But to me, like, the videos like that, just like the British Hill Climb Championship video from 2 years ago, is like, there's a story and then you build to it and it doesn't just come out of the blue. But the whole, like, editing takes so long, especially if you take, like, if you're trying to be very creative with it and you want it like absolutely perfect. But for me, like, I'm still training like 4 hour days, and like, how do I, like, you don't ride your bike 4 hours a day. You sleep 4 hours a day.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whereas like for me, I'm like riding 4 hours a day, but then I'm trying to sleep like 9 hours.
Yeah.
And like I'm losing half the day there just on trying to make myself faster or trying to beat other people. And so like YouTube, it's why like something like this we need to do like, every so often. We can only do every so often rather than like often, because I'm not going to be in good enough shape for it. But
you keep saying that as well. I think like that, obviously that video only works if you can actually, like, we put out how guess how long it's going to take you. No one sort of said, I don't know if you can do it. Like, and that's probably the clickiest bait. We put the trailer out knowing you hadn't done it, asking people, how long do you think it's going to take? Comment below. And we're sat there going, laughing at some of the like the people that say 4 hours, and then some of the people you can tell that know your story. Pretty much everyone's in the comments here were kind of like a good guess, and but no one knew those. No one knew what those descents were. What I was saying is like people are on your story, and I think like I sort of said with the Grand Tour, like those guys they're making YouTube videos. Clarkson, the Grand Tour on Amazon Prime. They're just making YouTube videos for Amazon Prime. And they're amazing, and they're the best YouTube videos you can ever make. But they are YouTube videos, aren't they? They're challenges, they're stuff like that. And it's obviously stuff that's come from Top Gear throughout the years, and it's evolved, and they went from from reviews and info like that to these challenges. But like we would watch, I'm not a big fan, but like people will go and watch them race tractors round a farm. They don't care if they're riding a Ferrari around the fastest racetrack in the world. It's just like people are like wanting to see you. And I say if that's like I'm not saying you go into the full blown. Ed Lavrat rides the smallest e-bike in the world, but I think you sort of think I have to be able to produce those numbers to do a video like that. Yeah, you have to at the moment because obviously you're fit and you're young and you can.
That particular one, I'd have to be. I mean, you're talking about world-class professional cyclists who you're trying to compare yourself to. Like, no offense to Corner and Hank. Hank's been retired longer than Corner has. But, you know, they were actually looked at the Strava. When I pulled the pin where I did, I was 45 minutes in. At the same point in the ride, it took them 6.5 hours to get to the same point, and they still didn't pull the pin. They kept riding because
they sort of changed it from the time cut to we got to complete this, haven't they? Yeah.
So, you know, when you're doing something like that, I think, well, at least for me anyway, I view it as I have to be in optimum shape. I could definitely do like the 500k we did to. I know it sounds. I'm sorry. I sound like a machine now, but like riding to North Wales and back in one ride, and you know 500k, people are saying epic effort, extreme, like unbelievable. Wasn't, you know, was for the other guys. Hats off to them. They rode through the pain. They were like really tired. But like for me, it's not. I could do that with no specific training for it. So it's certain things I need to be prepared for. When you're prepared physically for something, it prepares you mentally, and vice versa. And so for something like that, I had to be prepared for it. Just like the British Hill Climb Championship, or all the hill climbs really. Like I want to win it this year. Not that I've seen the bike, but like I feel like if the bike is what they say it's going to be, I'm in the best possible position to win it, even on a climb that doesn't suit me. And I'm going to get rid of that mentality now, I think. Like, the whole, like, oh, it's a short climb, not like stuff it. Like, I think I'm capable of winning it, whatever climb it is.
I was just almost editing that. I was put some ominous music in there. As for the hill climb, and we have to remember to come back and download this video, and that'll be the opening of the hill climb video, National Hill Climb video. We're obviously gone a bit long on stuff. I mean, I'll just show you quickly. Remove that. I'll just show you quickly the editing, and then I'll get to a couple of other bits, and then we'll wrap it up. So let me just share this file. So Martin's there said about obviously you've just said you want to win it, don't you? The hill climb.
Yeah, I wouldn't be there if I didn't think I could.
Nick, how fast did you do that?
So this is the timeline. Ed's just in shock. So this is the timeline. How come this plays quite smooth and the other one doesn't? So this is just me sort of scooting through it and just showing you everything there. You can see obviously all the overlays, and and the purple are text, and all the J cuts and what are they called, J cuts and something else cuts.
L. Yeah,
L
Katie. I think they are allowed. Katie. I had an email from Cycling Time Charles saying that as of I think middle of August we'll be allowed to. Well, in England anyway, it's anybody can. I think there's no rules now, is there? Like it's free for all.
Who wants a sequel?
Who wants a sequel? Hands up, chat.
Well, I think that's pretty much every comment in the video, isn't it? So, yeah, that was just the timeline. I did say I'll show that, so I'll show that. Let's remove.
I've not told you this, but Band of Climbers have asked to submit a route, but I did tell them that we want to do it down in your way because of Pollock.
And all your fans down there. And they didn't help us out on the first episode, so yeah, they didn't even invite me to the route I helped create for the group ride.
Well, they knew you wouldn't make it round.
Yeah, that's true. So sequel idea is the Porlock Hill Climb weekend. Ed is going to stay down for a few days, and you're going to go on Monday the 20th for potentially the sequel filming. So if you are coming down for the hill climb, just hang around. If you can, book another night and come Monday. We'll be going out early. We haven't finalised the route or anything like that yet and timings, but it will be an early start. Potentially it could be 3 big laps of Minehead area with some epic climbs. We're going to keep the descents fast. We will put the route out before, so if there's someone said earlier about are you allowed a group with you or anything like that, we will put it out. If you can keep up with Ed up a climb for a bit, go for it. Don't get in his way. And then that'll be that. Hopefully, all being well, we'll finish with a barbecue either at top of North Hill or somewhere local. So if you want to see, Sam's down, so if you want to see Sam how much of the route you can do by the time Ed finishes, then you'll have the route and be able to do that, and Ed might be able to. Do you think you'd lap, Sam?
I've just realised where this get corned thing has come from. It's me during the. Do you remember I did that Alp de Zwift race? And we were like 2K to go, and I put in an attack, and apparently like the 4 guys I was with, I think 2 of them were like they were Z power or something, or they were doing like weird numbers, and I attacked, and then like I got caught up by one of them, and he just went straight around me and just like did like full on orange numbers for like a minute or something. I was like, yeah, get corned. Because Zwift just booted him. Completely forgot about that.
You put up too many videos. 35 videos we've put up between us in July, in 21 days. 35.
What?
And that triggered message that we read the other day about why are all the cycling YouTubers slacking off at the moment, not uploading videos for 3 weeks at a time. It's nice to see this one YouTuber. I mean, there are YouTubers that do upload, but it's nice to see this one YouTuber who hasn't uploaded in 3 weeks is picking up the slack, and Ed's just gone.
Well, that YouTuber hadn't uploaded in 3 weeks.
I don't think so. Yeah, since the last time they had something to sell.
Sell.
Promote. Sorry, promote. Anyway, it's no one huge. It was just a funny comment, and it was just, and that's like Ed's saying, like that's the problem with YouTube. Like it's not giving them the content they want to see. Ed's knocking up these YouTube vlogs, which everyone's asking for, and unfortunately not being shown.
Well, it will be. This one surprised me. I have 5,000. I won't be surprised for the next one. So when's that? I'll be 8 weeks time. Yeah, got 8 weeks to wait, guys. Sorry, roughly. Till the next one. If Scott is still alive.
Yeah. We'll have to edit that. We'll start filming it now.
Yeah. film the intro now in case we lose the camera. So yeah, maybe that want to be 10.
Well, I think we're going to get a nudge, I reckon. So you're due a nudge, aren't you? Any plans for spectators to keep? Again, we'll put the route out. Obviously, I want Bullet in a Diddy the devil costume up on Dunkery. That would be quite good. These are all from Eamon. So will Ed be targeting segments on the sequel? I think you'll just knock them off. I think this one,
they're longer climbs.
Yeah, you probably won't, will you? To be honest.
Yes. Well, I won't take Dunkery because I've already got that. I won't take Porlock because I've already got that. What's the other one?
Well, there's a couple others.
Oh, come on then.
Timberskim Hill, which Feather's got.
Yeah, how long is it?
Light toll road with a couple of steep sections.
What, so it's like 10 minutes?
No, 27 for me.
Yeah, so 10 for me then.
Yeah, like I think it's 3-4 miles.
I could have that then. I could have that.
Yeah, that's one I've been meaning to show you and stuff. And then there are a few. There's one up from Dulverton if we go that way, which you would have done on. Well, the band of climbers would have done. So that's a quite good one. So yeah, you have got. It's just obviously you got 200k to do, haven't you?
Yeah, but if I get the KOMs out of the way in the first lap, I can just park up in the last lap.
That's so funny because you were like, "I'm just going for it. I'm just going for it on the off," and we didn't know because we didn't make the ride public, did we? For ages, obviously until the video went out.
I looking back at
Ed wanted to. I was like, "No, you're not, Ed."
I accumulated
because you haven't got any kudos.
Yeah, I got 30 kudos. I usually get 600.
There's a link in this video. Go and give him some kudos because I made him keep it. I mean, that was a lot of time in threshold, and I have to. Yeah, it was. I was just going for it. 6 watts per kilo up every climb until basically it would start to drop off, and I think by the time I reached it, I was starting to go like towards 5 watts a kilo, which, considering I've been running for nearly 5 hours, to still do 5 watts a kilo on the climbs, and it was like, it's still a lot, like a 60 watt drop there, 1 watt per kilo. So it's still a fairly big drop. But then, what do you expect? Like, but yeah. Oh, before we go, I'm gonna show you this. Oh yeah.
This is an early birthday present.
Wow. You told me it's edible.
Well, I mean, a dog could eat it maybe. It's a car seat cover and a dry robe in one. The zip part there at the top. Hang on, where's my camera? There it is. That zip kind of comes together here at the back of the headrest of your car. But there's this like belt-like thing here. And you wrap that around your waist, and there's a little like hook on this end, and it's from Orange Mud from Texas.
What were you saying about influencers?
And yeah, you can wear it as a kilt. But I'm loving the.
It's come all the way from Texas.
I know. It's done the embroidery and everything.
That's amazing.
From Tim. So thank you for sending that, Tim.
Oh,
sorry, Scott.
It was from Tim.
It was. Yeah, you'll have to wait till your birthday now. Sorry.
That's all right. That's all right. I'm used to it. As someone said, I'm always getting picked last for hill climb teams. I can't remember who said that, but yeah. Yeah, no, it wasn't Lord. But me and Ed, even though it was a whirlwind visit, wasn't it? And it felt like we did about a week's worth of stuff, and we even watched a film, which was a pretty shocking film. I
thought it was good.
It wasn't until the last 5 minutes, and Ed sort of went like this. And I was like, what's he doing over there? And I looked over. I didn't realise there's a huge plant in front of his face for the whole film. And I was just like, oh, sorry, Ed, we should have just moved that. He's like, no worries. It's just I couldn't see that bit of the thing. So he's too polite.
No worries, boyo.
No worries, boyo. So it wasn't Premium Rush. It was Tomorrow's War with Chris Pratt on Amazon Prime.
Nat's favourite.
Chris Pratt is Nat's favourite, yeah.
After Bullet.
Yeah, potentially bullet. Yeah. So takeaway from the video is, well, big thank you to everyone that did everything we asked them to do. We asked them to comment on the trailer. We asked them to comment on the main video and like the main video. And it's the first time I feel like Ed has, well, it's probably the most commented video, is it? Now?
It might well be. Yeah, it might well be.
And the like ratio and stuff, and all that does, that stuff, as you can see in the stats before, it does help YouTube say, I'm going to nudge this out to a different audience for a bit and see. They'll get the stats from there if they watch it. Again, to us, it's a very watchable video. I'm very proud of it. It's my best, what did you say? Crowning glory achievement or something. Bearing in mind, we don't really know what we're doing. Like, we're not...
Speak for yourself.
You know what you're doing on the bike. I've just watched a lot of YouTube things on how, but most importantly, it's not, backpedaling. Most importantly, it's not about the best tech, the best software, definitely not the best computer, not the best bike in the world, some of the best legs in the world.
Hey.
Well, yeah, that's true, isn't it? But we kind of, I think we've put out something I'm very proud of, and I'm already looking back on it, going like, that was such an epic day. And usually it takes a while for that to happen, and it go like the Paulette Hill climb. We knew was an epic sort of video and an epic day, but it wasn't really until a few months later where I was like looking back and going, yeah, really proud of that. Whereas this is almost instantly, as I was editing, I was going, yes, and it was almost about trying to get those little hooks and teasers and everything like that in the video to try and keep everyone watching it. And I think hopefully we did that. But any positive, any negative criticism that anyone doesn't want to leave on YouTube, pop in an email to ride@backpedal.cc. And that's on it. That's honest feedback. That's like, we know the windy Ed at the end with the talking to Ed at the end. If we had this on, if we didn't have this on, I wouldn't have even been able to use that thing. I think it was touch and go anyway. But if you had got to that far in the video, you're going to watch Ed talk about the debrief and what happened. Our setup for the sequel, which was embarrassingly filmed 3-4 days later. Ed getting his BAFTA award, me coming in for a sportif on the day of the video going up, and going,
You're never getting a BAFTA award for yours.
And what you saw of the outtakes was only about half of the outtakes. I'm there going, yeah. So, thank you for everything that you guys have done for the video and stuff. Because without you guys watching it and liking it and allowing us to sort of do something a bit different, at the end of the day, it's only a YouTube video, but it's very different from both of us almost. And
but it's what we want to do, innit? It's what we want to do. Like, it's part of the service that we are providing. Part of the package.
The big outcome is, I mean, me and Ed have talked loads of stuff about obviously plans and where we want to be in 5 years' time and everything. And I think this is I see it as a little stepping stone. And you didn't even know I was going to edit it for you before you arrived. And I was like going, you're not editing it? Like,
could have saved me bringing my laptop 200k on my back.
You just thought, I might get somebody GoPro footage
No,
from
I have to do my work.
yeah, you did. Yeah, you were doing coaching stuff as well. So, big thank you. And we've droned on about that for quite a while now. So, any negative criticism, like, if the levels, if the music, we don't color grade, we don't do it. Did anyone notice before we go? I'm not going to cut you off. But before you go, can someone go back and have a look at the when we had the power overlay, and just see if the temperature, where the temperature comes out and then the speed comes out, does it look like a big, huge